Jose Mourinho is closing in on taking Manchester United flop Jadon Sancho to Turkey. Fenerbahce boss Mourinho has offered United £15 million to end the winger's miserable spell at Old Trafford. Arsenal are reportedly discussing a move for Sevilla midfielder Lucien Agume amid concerns Thomas Partey may not extend his contract with the London club. Barcelona are interested in a loan move for out-of-favor Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford. Hello, family of this channel. I have brought you your daily information as usual. If you are new to this channel, subscribe and become a part of the family. Arsenal are reportedly discussing a move for Sevilla midfielder Lucien Agume amid concerns Thomas Partey may not extend his contract with the London club. The Gunners are negotiating a new deal with Partey, 32, with the Ghanaian's current term set to expire next week. According to The Athletic, the two parties are yet to find an agreement, and Partey is beginning to entertain offers from elsewhere. The midfielder is understood to be keen on remaining in London, but Arsenal are preparing potential alternatives in case he goes. The Athletic report that one name under discussion is 23-year-old Lucien Agume. The French youth international made a splash in La Liga last season, as he helped Sevilla avoid relegation, making 35 appearances, scoring once, and providing 3 assists. The defensive-minded rising star came through the ranks at Sokshok's academy, which has produced the likes of Ibrahima Konate and Marcus Thuram, before signing for Inter Milan in 2019. His time with Inter didn't go to plan, seeing him sent out on a number of loan moves to develop his game, before ultimately being snapped up by Sevilla on a permanent deal last summer. Agume has been likened to former Chelsea and Leicester superstar N'Golo Kante, with fans excited at the prospect of what he could bring to Arsenal. One wrote, "He's never going to be a lone number 6, but in a double pivot he could be the next N'Golo Kante." While another added, "I am liking all I read about Lucien Agume, and if he anything like N'Golo Kante, I will be delighted if we get him." Arsenal are already bringing in midfield reinforcements this summer after agreeing a deal to sign Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi. Zubimendi, 26, is set to finalize his switch to the Emirates in July, due to Sociedad's request to delay the deal until next month for financial reasons. It's thought Arsenal will pay slightly more than Zubimendi's £51 million release clause in order to split the cost over multiple installments. Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga also appears set to complete a £5 million move to North London as Arsenal look to bring in a new backup option for number 1 shot stopper David Raya. The Gunners' top brass, including new transfer chief Andrea Berta, remain focused on bringing in a center forward during the window too. Sunsport revealed last week that talks over a move for RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko have stalled over the Slovenian's wage demands, while Sporting's Viktor Gyökeres remains a second choice. While it's also been claimed that Aston Villa striker Ollie Watkins, who Arsenal failed to sign in January, is still admired and could return to the frame should they fail to land one of Sesko or Gyökeres. Arsenal are demanding £50 million for Gabriel Martinelli. The winger is thought to be a target for Bayern Munich, and Mikel Arteta is open to an exit for the right price. That's despite handing Martinelli a contract extension to 2027 earlier this year. Gyökeres prefers Arsenal over Man United. Viktor Gyökeres has reportedly told close friends he intends to join Arsenal this summer. The Sporting Lisbon striker is a target for the Gunners and their Premier League rivals Manchester United. But TalkSport claims Gyökeres does not want to reunite with former boss Ruben Amorim, and he has made it clear that he wants to end up at the Emirates this summer. Arsenal and Liverpool face PSG snub Paris Saint-Germain are tipped to rebuff Arsenal and Liverpool over Bradley Barcola. The French attacker, 22, was not always a regular as PSG won Ligue 1 and the Champions League, but it's claimed the French giants still regard the 22-year-old as vital for their long-term plans. However, the Gunners in particular are looking at even more high-profile frontline options than Barcola in the summer transfer window. Those include Viktor Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko. Meanwhile, both Liverpool and Arsenal are also said to have not yet given up hope on recruiting Newcastle main man Alexander Isak. Alejandro Garnacho and Christopher Nkunku could trade places this summer, according to reports. The unhappy duo are both set to quit their respective clubs over the coming week. Garnacho, 20, fell out with Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim towards the end of the season, while Nkunku, 27, has struggled to produce his best form since his £52 million Chelsea switch 2 summers ago. According to The Telegraph, Man United and Chelsea chiefs are considering moves to send Garnacho and Nkunku in opposition directions. A trade could benefit both clubs as they look to retool their respective front lines. But a deal wouldn't be structured as a direct swap deal, with 2 separate transfers more likely. As an academy graduate, a transfer fee received for Garnacho would represent pure profit for United under the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. The Argentine initially impressed after coming through at United, but fell out of favor under Amorim. Garnacho was unhappy not to start the Europa League final and was dropped altogether for United's final Premier League game of the campaign. The Wantaway star then clashed with a fan on the Red Devils' post-season tour of Asia, and over the weekend, he sparked further complaints from supporters by posing in an Aston Villa shirt with Rashford 9 on the back. Garnacho reportedly favors staying in the Premier League and has emerged as a Chelsea target. The Blues are aiming to bolster their options on the flanks and are nearing a £42 million swoop for Borussia Dortmund's English starlet Jamie Gittins. Enzo Maresca's side may recruit more than one winger during this transfer window, with Lyon's Malik Fofana also on their radar. Man United are said to be after around £70 million for Garnacho, although this fee could be negotiated. In addition to Chelsea, Aston Villa and Napoli have shown an interest. Nkunku, meanwhile, started just 9 Premier League games during the 2024-25 campaign. Man United's director of recruitment, Christopher Vivell, was at Chelsea when the Blues signed Nkunku, while he also spent 2 years at RB Leipzig as the French international excelled in the Bundesliga. United are trying to sign Brentford star Bryan Mbeumo. The Red Devils have made a second bid in excess of £60 million for the 20-goal forward. Jose Mourinho is closing in on taking Manchester United flop Jadon Sancho to Turkey. Fenerbahce boss Mourinho has offered United £15 million to end the winger's miserable spell at Old Trafford. And the Istanbul side are prepared to meet Sancho's demands for £10 million a season in wages. Sancho, 25, returned to United last month when Chelsea paid a £5 million penalty clause at the end of his loan agreement, rather than splashing out £25 million to make the deal permanent. It was the latest incident in an ill-starred 4 years at Old Trafford since his £73 million move from Dortmund in 2021. London-born Sancho, who was on Manchester City's youth books before his 4 seasons in the Bundesliga, was involved in a spectacular fallout with United boss Erik ten Hag. Sancho accused the Dutchman of making him a scapegoat before a loan return to Dortmund in January 2024. Last summer, despite starting the campaign in the United squad, he was sent to Chelsea on deadline day. Sancho scored 5 goals in 41 appearances for the Blues, including a beauty in the Conference League final comeback win over Real Betis. But it was not enough to persuade Enzo Maresca to pull the trigger on a permanent move. But with new United gaffer Ruben Amorim having made it clear he sees no United future for the winger, Sancho is looking for a move. Italian giants Juventus have signaled their interest in a potential swap deal. But United need to balance their PSR finances with a cash sale. Sancho's book value for next term is £15 million, the preferred option. Fenerbahce, desperate to usurp fierce rivals Galatasaray and reclaim the Turkish crown, have emerged as the strongest suitors, with Mourinho believing the former England man could be a game-changer. Sancho's £300,000 a week wages have proved prohibitive for a number of interested clubs. But Turkey's much lower taxes would see the former Borussia Dortmund star match his take-home salary from United. Barcelona are interested in a loan move for out-of-favor Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford. The England ace opened the door for a switch to the Seda comp at the weekend by saying he'd love to play with teen sensation Lamine Yamal. Rashford and the Spanish giants are interested in making it happen, although they are unlikely to offer a permanent switch. They are looking to sign Nico Williams from rivals Athletic Bilbao, and that will use up a huge chunk of their summer budget if they meet his £53 million release zone. But coach Hansi Flick is also an admirer of Rashford, and Barça will explore if a loan move with a view to a permanent deal is possible. His versatility to play on the wings or down the middle as backup to Robert Lewandowski makes him an interesting option. United would prefer to sell him now, but are also keen to get his £370,000 per week wages off the books. The 27-year-old, plus Jadon Sancho and Antony, are viewed as the priority sales as United look to balance the books this summer. Sunsport exclusively revealed last week Newcastle are keen on Rashford. The Magpies hope to keep star attacker Alexander Isak amid interest from Arsenal and especially Liverpool. And Toon chief Eddie Howe fancies Rashford as an extra option for Newcastle's Champions League venture. Meanwhile, Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahçe have bid £15 million for Sancho. It follows Chelsea having to pay a £5 million penalty for declining to turn the 23-cap Englishman's loan into a permanent move. The future of fellow 25-year-old wideman Antony is equally unclear. The Brazilian shone on loan at Real Betis in the second half of last season. There's been talk of interest from another La Liga club, but nothing firm so far. Dear family of this channel, this seems to be the daily news for today. Until we meet again in the next video, please subscribe to this channel and have a good time.